Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FemCity Monday Business class. We have a good one for you today, and this is going on our theme. Every month we have a new theme, and this month it is removing blocks, which is really a huge topic. So we're thrilled that we have an amazing teacher here today. Today's class is about releasing emotional blocks, okay? And this is how this is going to be helping you in your life and in your business. So we have a Founders Circle member that is our teacher today. You may have seen her before around FemCity Corners, Sarah Sparks, because we have had the pleasure of having Sarah a number of times. Thank you, Sarah. I want to tell everyone a little bit about you, Sarah, before I hand it over to you. So Sarah is a business owner. She is a globally ranked podcast host. She's an Amazon best-selling author, and she's all about authenticity, empowerment, and divine alignment, and other things that you're going to hear about today. So thank you, Sarah. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I love teaching. I love sharing. I love giving. I just love it. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I am going to hand it over to you, and I'm going to remove myself. We can check in if we need to. And
Okay.
Anyone that would like to leave comments or any questions for Sarah, we will address those at the end as well in the chat.
Well, wonderful.
Take it away.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So releasing emotional blocks to unlock business success has been key to my own business success, especially in this last year. Question for you though. Oh, I'll go over the class flow real quick. So what we'll cover today is reflection on emotional blocks, why releasing emotional blocks is crucial for business success, how releasing blocks transforms your business. Then I'll give you 3 action steps to release emotional blocks, and I'll even show you the technique that Divine has showed me to gently release the emotions. And then there's a conclusion and a little commitment and a final question. And then I've got some additional resources for you. Question for you though. All right. How many of you have ever felt like something invisible was holding you back in your business, even though you were doing all the right things? My business was thriving. Lynn says, yes, me. I know, I did. I was like, what is going on? And so my business was thriving, supporting my family, but I felt overwhelmed. I kept feeling like there had to be an easier way of doing business. There had to be an easier way of living life. And there had to be a way to receive with ease. I felt so torn. I didn't want to abandon my clients because I personally believed that it was my purpose to make sure that they never felt alone on their spiritual journey. And yes, ease, that is a word I love. And I'll add in here that ease I avoided because I had this belief, an emotional block, that well, there's emotions in this belief, but I had this belief that everything had to be hard. I had to work hard. I had to prove myself. I had a lot to prove. I had to prove that I could channel. I could prove that I had a connection to divine. I could prove that I could do this business all on my own, that I had to prove that I could financially support this household of 4 all by myself. Whew, a lot that I was trying to avoid simply by ease. And Janine says, yes, financial blocks. Yes, I get it. There's a lot of emotions behind money. So, but I have to say that I was also exhausted. I just felt like I was pulled in many different directions. But I also knew there was like this knowing, this inner knowing that something had to change. That's when Divine came in and offered me a chance to heal and step into a new way of doing business. I discovered that one of my biggest emotional blocks was from a core wound of abandonment. Now, I wasn't physically abandoned, but I felt like I was emotionally abandoned at a young age. I realized that my drive to support my clients and always be there for them, never abandon, always show up for them, be there multiple times a week for them. I mean, I was in the business a lot. So, but what I realized was that belief and like the part of me that was showing up for my business was coming from my wound, my core emotional. I didn't know I had a core emotional wound. I mean, are we not all spiritual, energetic beings first and foremost? And especially in this amazing community, we have done an extensive amount of work on ourselves. We are probably experts in our own limiting beliefs. But emotions, I avoided connecting with them. I was a strong, independent woman. But once I released the blocks and those emotions, I found a way to serve others, to show up from a place of ease and enjoyment and alignment. And I really want that for everyone now. So I want to show you, all right? I want to show you how to do this today. So I invite you now to close your eyes for 30 seconds, just to close. And if you're driving, please don't, but if you're in a space and you can enjoy 30 seconds of having your eyes closed and think about, imagine a time in your business in recent time that you felt overwhelmed, frustrated, or stuck. Overwhelmed, frustrated, or stuck. Like put yourself back into that interaction, into that experience. What are some emotions stirring up in you? And if you may, it will help in near future exercise I'm going to take you through. Just jot down some of the emotions that are coming up. You can share them in the chat if you want. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine too. So, but write down the emotions that are coming up. Emotional blocks can be subtle, but they can create powerful barriers that hold us back in our own business success of what we really want to achieve. So today we're going to uncover why it's crucial to release those blocks and how unlocking that can really lead to the next level of success. And it's so cool get to share this with you now. Divine had asked me to create a whole new identity. And I was like, what in the world are you talking about? And it's through this emotional release process that Divine gave me a whole process called the healed process. And I'm just going to give you a little snippet of what Divine's given me today and how it's positively impacted my business. So why is releasing emotional blocks crucial for success? Number one, unresolved emotions sabotage progress. Oh my gosh. Emotional blocks. So I'm going to give you two examples. So there are two different examples of emotional blocks that come to mind. And one is fear of failure. What happens when we have fear of failure? We procrastinate and we hesitate. And then if we have fear of judgment, then we may remain small. We may not want to show up or share our message. So how has this impacted your own progress? Is anything coming up for you? You can think about it for a bit. You can make some notes. The second one, limiting beliefs cloud decision-making. And I've also found that the limiting beliefs have also clouded my own connection to divine guidance. And for us who are in here today who love that divine connection, and a lot of my clients come to me because they want a more deeper, meaningful relationship and connection with divine, those limiting beliefs can cloud that. So just reflect on any decisions that you may have delayed because of self-doubt or fear. Are there any beliefs that are holding you back now? Jot those down. And clearing these blocks lets you step into decision-making with clarity and vision. Keep that in mind. I'll get to it. I always want to jump ahead because it's just so exciting to get to like the how. And the third reason to release these essential is emotional freedom fuels creativity and innovation. I was so stuck in all of my emotions: shame, regret, fear of rejection, abandonment, not being enough, not doing enough. I had a fear that every time I went to help somebody create their business, that I was just completely screwing up their life. No, I wasn't. But those were deep-seated core wound emotions that I had. And I didn't want to touch those emotions. Again, I was a strong, independent woman. I didn't need to touch into my emotions. I had divine. I had this connection. But I had to get real with myself. So what new ideas might flow to you if you weren't carrying around that emotional baggage? I mean, once I released it, this whole new way of doing business came in, a whole new process, new circles, new channelings, new clients, the group program, one-on-one work, retreats, like it all came flooding in. A whole new business plan, pricing points, include like everything came in, and you can tell, I'm like, yes, this is the way to do business. And it all just came in big, but I had those blocks. So let's carry on. So excited. I love sharing. All right. So now that we understand just a little bit more, let's go into releasing emotional blocks and how it transforms your business. I found 4 different ways. So 4 different reasons. So one is it improves that decision making. So when it limits that decision making, what happens when we release? It improves that decision making. So without that emotional baggage, your decisions become clearer and aligned with long-term goals. Yes. So I mean, my long-term goal is to have 1/8 of the planet healed through the healed process. And so without all that emotional baggage, every single day I can plug in, I can take notes. I have all sorts of notes everywhere, but like, what's on my website? How can I make it more efficient? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to contact? How can I get my message out to larger groups of people? Lynn says, wasting time trying to make a decision as well. I know, yes, wasting time. Like but also give yourself grace too for anybody who feels that way, because I mean, I felt like I was also wasting time, and I didn't want to waste, FemCity's time. Like I would sit on the accountability calls with Violet, and I couldn't hold myself accountable. There was so much blocking me, and I had to take a step back, release them, take this time to heal, and then I could move forward. So give yourself some grace too. All right. So imagine for a moment making those bold decisions without second guessing or worrying about failure. What bold decision would you make if you weren't second guessing? Would you want to heal? Have 1/8 of the planet heal? Yes, that's mine. But you can have it too. So number 2, increase productivity and focus. So imagine a day of work without emotional distraction. Emotional blocks drain our mental energy, but releasing them helps with that, to have focus on that high priority task. And so what could you accomplish with that freed energy? What could you accomplish? So number 3, enhance creativity and innovation. I started covering that in the last. So what new strategies or services could you explore if you were free of doubt? There is not a doubt in my mind now that this healed process is why I was here. And it encompasses everything that I have ever worked on, created, downloaded, channeled, and it's just 6 weeks. And Divine told me how to step away from my business, how to let my clients be adults and take responsibility for themselves. A lot of emotion though wrapped up in that. So I was able to create a whole hands-off, self-studied portion of it. It is absolutely beautiful. And so I'm not, please don't take it like I'm self-promoting here, but I'm just sharing with you what is possible. All right. So number 4 is stronger client and team relationships. And this could be if you also just stronger relationships with my husband, with my children, that sort of thing as well. So by clearing those emotional blocks, my communication became more effective. Trust became better because I wasn't like all over the place. I was emotional basket case here, friends, for like several months. So if you're there, it's okay. You are more than likely being asked to up level in your energy, in your business, in your consciousness, in your overall well-being. And in doing so, in this healed process, I have seen timelines shift. So if we think about, oh, it's going to take us 6 months to get here, by actually healing and releasing these emotions, you skip timelines. All right. Let's see here. So which business relationships could improve if you were free from fear or rejection? All right. With this clear understanding, I'm excited to go into the action steps. Do you guys want them? There's just 3, I believe. All right. So first, let's identify those emotional triggers. So reflect on those moments that I had you do in the very beginning. Reflect on some frustration moments or even moments of doubt. When was some time that you felt really frustrated? Where were you? Who were you with? Were you by yourself? What was going on? If you're able to connect with your body, what emotions are coming up for you? And have no fear. If you decide to ever work with me or do the heal process and you can't connect with your body, I have set it up so that way you can. And I've created meditations and process all around it, because more than likely the emotions, those emotional triggers are stored in our body, and it can create different tensions. Say, for instance, if you're holding on to sadness, then that is held in the chest area. Some stress held in the shoulders. All right. So just jot down, write down 1 or 2 emotions that are coming up for you. So now I want to show you a process that Divine has given to me. So focus on that one emotion. Lynn openly shared anxious, anxiety. Anxiety is an emotion. So I can take Lynn's example. So thank you, Lynn, for sharing that. And where, Lynn, are you feeling it in your body? So go into that space in your body of where you are feeling anxious. Then outside of yourself, you're going to imagine that there is a healing bubble outside of yourself, because that's where we're going to put this anxiety. And right above you, you can imagine that there's a little attic hatch door that connects you straight to Divine, straight to the universe. We are going to release over that emotion. We're going to transmute it and let Divine and the universe take care of it. All right. So we're going to first clean and clear, and then we'll heal and seal. So we're going to take our scoops. We all have these like ready-made ice cream scoops. I even shared this with like a small little class. It was 5 to 10-year-olds, and they all were like, ice cream scoops. I'm like, adults love this too. Even if you're lactose intolerant, you're still going to love the ice cream scoop. Anyways, I bird walk. Anyways, ice cream scoop, go into that space where you feel that emotion, whatever emotion that you're writing down. I'm going to go with Lynn's example because she graciously gave it. So go to where you're feeling that anxiety, Lynn, and we're going to scoop it out and clear it out. scoop it out, clean it out, clear it out. And we're going to put it into that energy ball outside of yourself and scoop and clear until it is all gone. And keep breathing. And scan your body to see if there's any other places that you may be holding on to the emotion that you are releasing. Just do one emotion at a time. And I wait until I feel like, yeah, I got it all. It's all gone. Then I take that energy bubble that's outside of myself. I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to release it over to the universe, God, source, creator, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it. We're going to release it in 3, 2, 1, release. Shake out your hands. Shake off any residual energy. Then I like to heal and seal because we don't want to feel empty. We don't want to feel like something's missing from us because we've gotten so used to feeling anxious. So now we're going to rub our hands, get that energy going, feeling that energy and that heat between your hands. Kind of going to feel it. Open your hands up, feel that energy. And we're going to ask, okay, divine source, creator, consciousness, let's bring in that unconditional love. Unconditional love. And we're going to go move your hands to the space that you just released from. And we're going to fill up that space, heal and seal it with love. Take a deep breath. How will you make space in your day for emotional release? There are other ways to emotional release. That is what I just shared with you. My clean and clear, seal and heal little technique is what Divine has shown me. I was asked by other coaches to go to a rage room, to yell, scream, punch, like go and just get it out of me. For me personally, the physical hitting and the screaming and the yelling did not get rid of and release the emotion that is needed to be released. What has been super helpful, I'm going to give this tip to you, is when you find your core wound, go inside the wound and see what emotions are in there. What I've also found is, so like the next step in this is to set new empowering beliefs. So like write down an old limiting belief and then transform it by writing an empowering affirmation. So let's say, for instance, if you feel like I'm just not enough, then an empowering statement would be, I am enough. So I hesitate to go right directly into the belief and to create that new belief and the new thought, because I recommend that you do the emotional releasing first. We're taught, and I heard this on even a talk show, I heard it on some therapists on Instagram sharing about this, that if we change our thoughts, we change our emotions. What I have found in this process, and what Divine has shown me, again, this is my own experience, that if we release the emotions first, the emotions are the activators. And if we release those emotions first, then it's a ripple effect from inside on up and out. So meaning like if those emotions are in us and we release them, then our thoughts change, our behavior changes, and our reality changes. I noticed when I released an emotion that was attached to a certain behavior of somebody, I'm not going to say who for protection of them, and it's a significant love of my life, not my husband. We'll just go with that one. But anyways, could just say it now. But anyways, they were coming at me. And because I did this work and they're just reacting in their own way, but because I released the emotion, there was nothing active in me. So their reaction didn't activate anything in me. So they reacted, they did their thing, and I stood there. My thoughts were different than they've ever been before. My actions were different. The entire experience was different. And because of the energy work and the emotional work of this releasing, our interaction was completely different. They then changed. Like, it was so cool. I didn't have to say anything. I just was like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But nothing in me was activated. So I feel that it is important to first, I recommend doing the emotional releasing and then creating the new beliefs and thoughts. All right, now carry on. Some final questions and a little invitation of commitment. So releasing emotional blocks is key to unlocking your business's full potential. It clears the path for creativity and confidence and a stronger relationships with yourself, with others. It also creates financial abundance because more than likely, is it Jeannie, that when you're talking about the financial blocks, there are emotions that are tied to the financial blocks, and they are located somewhere in your body. You have a relationship with money. There's emotions tied to that money. And when we release the emotions, then that opens yourself up. The blocks are gone for that financial abundance. So I just encourage you to think about and to imagine this final question of what would your business look like if you release the emotional blocks that are holding you back right now? What would your business look like? And I'm going to invite you to commit to write down one action you will take today to release an emotional block and unlock more success in your business. What is one action? You can either comment in the chat or you can write it down on your own. All right. The number one reason to discover your core emotional wound, which is the free quiz that I have listed here as an additional resource, that number one reason to discover the core emotional wound is to break free from self-sabotaging patterns. They are the ones that are unconsciously holding you back. So core wounds often are formed in childhood, influencing how we think, feel, behave, interact, particularly in business. So by uncovering those core wounds, you can gain that power and heal it once and for all. It has been amazing to see people do this. I actually have a call in just a few minutes with somebody who has gone through this program. And she's like, I just have to have a follow-up call with you to tell you everything that is falling into place and how my business is growing and what is all happening. And I was like, all right, cool. I'd love to hear. So feel free to visit the free quiz. It's a bit.ly link, and to discover your core wound. There's additional resources in there. My website is sarahsparks.love, and you can just visit sarahsparks.love. But I've also put in here for the free resources. I've got a bunch listed for you. And then you can always email me at sarah@sarahsparks.love. And I think that is it. Jamie says, thank you. I used to have a really bad relationship and fear with money. Amazing connections and support lately, and trying to get the financial portion aligned. Beautiful. Awesome. And I like to add that I didn't really have a relationship with money, and I really didn't have any emotions around it, but being indifferent is also an emotion. And so releasing that has also freed me. So I just add that to that money portion of things. All right. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Sarah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I want to make a comment or two for you. For one,
sure.
I want to say to everyone listening, actually, not to you, listen to this again, because I think that as we're going through listening, I found myself sometimes in my head thinking about something you were saying.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I could listen to this again and openly understand what's going on so then I can actually do it. So I'm going to tell people to listen to it twice because you're going to get more out of it again the second time because you gave us a lot, actually. You didn't go
Okay.
through too quickly. I just found myself going, that's thought-provoking. That's thought-provoking. Oh no, listen to her again. Okay, so
Okay.
that's my tip. And something else was coming to me, okay, that I was getting a
Yeah.
little download. You were saying about releasing the emotions to activate new thoughts and patterns and all of this. And you know what picture came into my mind? Putting frosting on like a moldy cupcake.
Yes.
It can look, kind of pretty. Like we're going to say these, new things and try and have these new thoughts. But then if that core thing is still there, how's it going to be good? Right. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've also had it. My mother used to have, this is kind of gross. I'm sorry, has like an ulcerated sore. And so if she just kept putting a Band-Aid over it, but until she went to the doctor and actually had it cleaned out, it could never heal.
Right.
And also the thought that when I received this, which is kind of like witchy, so I don't really like say it, but it was like this big black bowl or cauldron. And like from outside, if we're adding in certain chemicals or spices, then the pot starts boiling and like it gets all active and stuff. But if we take out the activators inside the cauldron, even if something's put in there, it's like, well, it's just water now, so it really doesn't do anything,
Right.
And so I was like, oh yeah, like, and I mean, that's how I taught for years. That's how I was taught, was like, change your thoughts, change everything, change, like, it'll change your life. Like, and so I was over here doing all these affirmations with all these emotions still very much active in me. And so
made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
You're
And for anyone listening, yes, please reach out to Sarah. She's got lots of resources there too. So it's all there for you for free, and connect with her because she's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks again.
okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.